Hey guys, Micah from Black Bear Custom Kydex. I've got a cool sheath to show you today. I don't do a whole lot of sheaths that are quite like this. Some things that are a lot like it, similar features, but this one stands out a little bit because of a couple unique things. So let's go through it really quick and I'll show you everything that this thing has going on. First and foremost, we are looking at an ESEE-6. Customer Jeff has the TKC scales on it. I believe he's got the OD green and black scales that they've got. I've got the flat dark earth. So these are TKC scales. Absolutely love these. I think these are still my favorite scales for the ESEE knives. I really do like the new 3D Contour G10, but the TKC scales are still just, I don't know, there's something about them I really love. So that's that. Just so you do know, however, the fit is the same between, well, I shouldn't say it's the same. The fit works. I formed this Kydex on one with the ESEE 3D contoured scales, but it works perfectly with this. Excellent retention, really nice ballistic one-handed draw, good lock-in, no rattle, no play. So I'm very, very satisfied with how this came out. Jeff asked me if I could build him a sheath with an ESEE pouch on it. He's got an Exotac fire rod, so I just made the holder for it. And then he also wanted an ESEE fire steel striker tool. These are really cool, really great little tools to bring out in the field with you. So I'd recommend checking those out if you haven't already done that. It is OD green, and he asked me to do either, some kind of multicam or maybe Cryptek Highlander as the accent. So I went with Highlander. I thought that would go really nicely, and a leather drop loop. And I think the colors just match so nicely and will go really well with his OD green scales. So this is what I opted for as far as the color combo. The pouch, obviously, here on the front is in black. And I did it slightly different from how I normally do. Normally I do some kind of mounting plate for the pouch, but I also am normally working with a taco style sheath where I don't have the luxury of mounting points on the spine of the sheath, as it were. So with the taco style, it really does require a mounting plate. With this pancake style, I'm able to get around it a little bit. Not that it's better or worse to have it. It just kind of helps with the taco style. So without the taco, with this pancake, I can mount all four corners of the pouch with no issue. So it seems the plate would just be a little bit excessive. As far as the drop loop goes, I wanted to do this a little different from how I normally do it, where I've got this this little piece, this accent piece in Highlander. It's actually riveted to the leather, and then there are 4 drill holes that work with the mounting plate here on the back. Now this plate, the reason I have this plate there is to just make it a little bit more seamless as far as integrating this fire steel in there. As far as the real estate goes, you can see it overlaps just a little bit, so it's kind of necessary to have something that elevates. But I also wanted to provide some different ride height options in case this is too high up on his belt, or too low, maybe he wants to lift it by lowering the plate on this or the dangler, sorry, the drop loop on this mounting plate. So that's all very doable. And the correlating drill holes are going to go from the outside mounting through and all the way through the frame of the sheath, and then these two going through just the corresponding 2 drill holes in the center. So this thing is on there really, really solid. There's absolutely no wiggle, and you should get a lot of really good life out of this thing. So I'm really happy with how all this came out. And then lastly, I guess I'll quickly go over the fire steel loop. You guys know I've recently started vacuum forming. I decided I would actually do a vacuum formed holder for this, because if you look how close the hardware has to be to the edges of the fire steel, with a regular foam press, it'd be more of a graduated slope off the sides, whereas with the vacuum forming, it's a sheer 90. And it just seemed necessary to be able to fit that on there. Not only does it work very well, but I think it looks really crisp. I really love how aggressive the edges are on this. And then the other thing that I was able to do with this was, well, to make this accessible, since it's up against the body, how I'm kind of envisioning you having to retrieve your fire steel is, while it's on, if you're still wearing the sheath, you'd have to kind of reach up under the tip, and leaving this loop exposed means that there's really nothing for retention to hold this in there. The only option would be if I were to mold into that bow drill divot. But if you do that, the edges of this 90-degree tool would scrape that Kydex off, the Kydex that's molded down below the plane of this thing. So I really did have to keep this all flat to make this all work. And I went with a very unconventional retention option, which is leather. I actually lined, if you can see it, I lined the inside edges only with a strip, a very thin strip of leather. So it starts at the opening and goes all the way around. So it'll pad this on entry, and it doesn't matter what direction you put this in. You can go with bow drill divot up or down, and it just kind of slides in. Every now and then, it might get a little bit stuck if you get a lot of debris in there, if you're, getting some dirt up in there. So what I would recommend is that, obviously, you just kind of wipe your tool off, Jeff. Wipe this off before you put it back into its little sheath. And maybe every now and then, put a little bit of oil on it, a little WD-40 or something like that. You shouldn't need to worry about damaging the leather on the inside. It's permanently bonded to the outer edges of the Kydex. So really it's just a matter of what you want coming in contact with the sides of your fire steel. So a little WD-40 or even, some kind of cooking oil should do just fine. It doesn't really matter if you degrade the leather a little bit with, a non-leather conditioning oil. So yeah, that's what I would do. But yeah, I'm envisioning that you'd have to reach up under, and you've got a generous loop that you could kind of grip onto and sort of give it a tug down. Comes out fairly easy. It's not really difficult to put or to draw. Putting it back in might be just a little bit of a challenge if you're not actually able to look at it, but I did it just there without really being able to see it, and it wasn't too bad. I just kind of put it up under, and yeah, it's not bad at all. So I'm really happy with how this came out, but I'd love your opinions, guys. Let me know what you think of this sheath. Let me know what you think of the design, the way I combined all the elements that he asked for, and let me know how you like the color combination. Tell me what you think of ESEE-6, and tell me what you think of the factory micarta slabs versus the 3D contoured scales that ESEE now makes versus the TKC scales, which are my personal favorite. Love your opinions. So, all right, guys. Comprehensive ESEE sheath with an Exotac fire rod holder, and that's all I got for you. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and stick around for the next one. God bless.